Just after finishing today's video, we got some rather unfortunate news. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah has been placed on the physically unable to perform list, the PUP list, and that means he is lost for the entire 2025 season. I can't say I'm shocked by this news, but it doesn't make it hurt any less. It really sucks to see. Hopefully, with a full year and change, JOK can make a full recovery, and they'll get him back on the field for off-season workouts in 2026. Remember, he suffered that neck injury against the Ravens in November of 2024. So a year and a half, and hopefully at that stage, he'll be ready to return back to the field. But sucks to see. We're thinking of you, JOK. Just no other way to put it. So for JOK, drop a 6 down below, and then we'll jump into our pre-filmed video before this JOK news came out. Just before we started filming our second video for today, the Browns added another safety. It is Rayshawn Jenkins. So we're going to kind of break down this signing and then get into what I originally had planned for this video. But Jenkins joins Damontae Kazee as a pair of veteran free agent signings following the Browns' rookie minicamp. And when I saw this signing, when I saw the Kazee signing, the first thing I thought of was, okay, you've got Jim Schwartz getting a veteran third safety to the mix with Ronnie Hickman and Grant Delpit. When I see Jenkins get signed, I start to worry. I start to worry that maybe, and this is just a theory, could there be an injury at the safety position? Adding one safety, okay, that makes sense. You had a couple of guys leave over the offseason. McLeod retired, Thornhill to Pittsburgh, D'Anthony Bell to Seattle. So that makes sense to add Kazee. You didn't draft a safety. But now you're adding Rayshawn Jenkins too. Now I'm a little bit dubious. He was a 4th-round pick by the Chargers back in 2017. Played there for 4 years. Went to Jacksonville for a couple of seasons last year in Seattle. So we'll monitor this. Hopefully there's no injury, and hopefully it's just another veteran piece being added and some more depth and a guy competing for a roster spot. But 2 veterans at the same position the same day makes me wonder a little bit. Now, let's get into what I originally had planned for today's episode, and that is, are the Browns a team to watch for that could trade a quarterback to a quarterback-needy team like New Orleans? If you missed it, Derek Carr retired over the weekend. He's had some shoulder issues as of late. It was recommended that he get shoulder surgery, which would knock him out for all of 2025. And him and his wife just decided, hey, we've made a boatload of cash, like a lot, nearly $200 million in his entire career. Let's just shut it down and be able to have a shoulder for the rest of my life so I can throw the football to our kids when they get older. So Derek Carr is retiring, which means the Saints are looking for a quarterback. Their quarterback room is Tyler Shuck, Spencer Rattler, gross, Jake Haener, who, and I could see the Browns being a team that New Orleans calls. Right? Let's just start there. Just if New Orleans is looking to trade for a quarterback and they're looking over all 31 teams, the Browns surely, with 4 quarterbacks, are going to be a team that the Saints at least reach out to in terms of availability for 1, 2, 3, or all 4 quarterbacks. Now, Jeremy Fowler recently on SportsCenter said the Browns got these 4 quarterbacks they're going to roll with that for the next 2 to 3 months to see how it shakes out. Shedeur Sanders will have every opportunity to make his impression and to make this team. The Browns also look at quarterbacks like all positions, like currency, like value. Now, that quote from Fowler, I won't say it was twisted, but it was maybe stretched a little bit to mean that Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel could be traded, right? I saw a couple of articles come out over the weekend, and I was going to film a video about this, but when one of these articles came out, I was at Medieval Times, which if you've ever been there, you can understand you don't leave Medieval Times. So then I just didn't get the opportunity to, and then Sunday I went to the Stars game to get a video out until I wanted to do it this morning, but then they signed Damontae Kazee, so I pushed it off, and then the Rayshawn Jenkins signing, but I still wanted to talk about it. So let's talk about this idea of the Browns trading a quarterback. Let me start with the two rookies, and then we'll look at the veterans. One, I don't think that's going to happen. That's my 2 cents on the matter. I would be very surprised if Shedeur Sanders or Dillon Gabriel gets dealt. I can't say it's a 0% chance of happening, but I am not going to suggest you put any stock into that or you put any money on that. So I don't think either one of the two rookies gets moved. The two veterans, that is a different situation. And we'll look at that closer in just a second. But we are so close to reaching 46,000 subscribers. We got to the big 4.5, now 4.6, and then 4.7. So if you want to help join and grow the channel, click that sub button down below. We are 246 subs away. So as I was saying with the veterans, Jonathan Jones from CBS Sports said, one name that I'll just throw out there to pay attention to, potentially Kenny Pickett. Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett is going to get dealt at some point because they are not going to carry 4 quarterbacks on a 53-man roster. Someone is going to be expendable. I understand what Jonathan Jones is saying. I won't be as courageous as he is to say it like it's a fact that one of these two guys gets traded. If Flacco looks like, and I think that's what Stefanski expects, the best quarterback of the 4, they're going to keep him. I think they plan on Flacco being their week 1 starter. Probably not start all 17 games, but he gives them the best chance early on. I also think internally they view Kenny Pickett as a quarterback that the rest of the league has discarded, but they are not at that stage yet. Just like how Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold all had revivals, I think Cleveland sees that a little bit in the former first rounder. If he stinks it up in training camp, that changes things. If a team like New Orleans gives him an offer they can't refuse, that changes things. But I could see a world where the Browns don't trade any of these 4 quarterbacks. I don't believe a trade, by the way, happens until August. I mean, Cleveland used a 5th rounder and DTR to get Kenny Pickett. So, unless they get something way better than that, I don't see them flipping Pickett for a 5th or a 6th after a few weeks of just spring practices. I can understand why they'd get the offer from New Orleans, but they clearly saw something in him to make a move back in March. What have they seen from then till now to believe he's not our guy? Let's just trade him off for a little bit less than what we gave up to acquire him. That's why I think they wait until August. At that point, they'll have a much better idea as to what they have in Pickett and probably more importantly, what they have in other quarterbacks like Joe Flacco, who signed a 1-year contract with a boatload of incentives in there. His contract is not too difficult to move off of or to trade away. I am not very confident in saying the Browns are going to deal Joe Flacco. If he stinks it up and train, like those are big ifs, right? And that's why I'm not confident in pretty much all this happening. Because the logic behind all these trades is starting with the words if. If Joe Flacco is bad, if Kenny Pickett is bad, then they could trade one of those 2 quarterbacks. If Dillon Gabriel or if Shedeur Sanders looks really good, then you can become more comfortable with trading one of your 2 veterans. It's May. I think we're way too early in the entire off-season process of workouts and practices to reach those conclusions. Come back to me in August. And if some of those statements come true, if Shedeur Sanders just is head and shoulders above Dillon Gabriel, Kenny Pickett, and he's arguably having better days than Joe Flacco, then you can make the case to start the rookie. But we don't know that right now. And I think anyone that says they're going to do that is just them trying to speak it into existence. Right? No one can actually say anything with any kind of concrete evidence or facts from rookie minicamp. So that leads me to the giant if. The exception, I think, would be if a rookie really stands out. Like if Dillon Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders follows up rookie minicamp with some awesome OTA sessions and then a terrific mandatory minicamp session. And Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski, after June, going into July, feel like, hey, so insert rookie quarterback is kicking ass. He's already at the top of our depth chart. And New Orleans is becoming desperate for a quarterback. We don't need to wait till August. We feel so confident in June in whichever rookie is emerging. We can deal Flacco or Pickett. I don't think they're going to reach that conclusion from some non-padded 7-on-7 drills. That to me is just too ambitious. So I don't see either one of these guys getting traded until training camp. And if you're New Orleans, is that really the play you want to make right now? You just took a quarterback in round 2. Don't you want to give that guy the opportunity to win the job during OTAs and minicamp? And if on August 20th it's clear he's not where he needs to be a week 1 starter, then you can make a move for one of these two. Which, by the way, I would trade Pickett because I just don't think he's very good. So that's where I stand on this whole Browns shopping a quarterback with the New Orleans Saints conversation. I feel like trading one of those 4 quarterbacks is just way too premature in the entire preseason. Like, we're in the preseason of the preseason right now. We haven't even gotten to the preseason. Let's get to the preseason first before we start trading guys away for bags of peanuts, because you're not going to get a whole lot from the Saints for 40-year-old Joe Flacco. We saw what the market value was for Kenny Pickett. It was a backup quarterback in a 5th. We can get maybe a 5th back. I wouldn't hate that idea, but I don't think the Browns are willing to give up on Pickett so quickly for just a 5th, which is what they gave up for him in the first place. Let's pick a card to wrap up today's episode. Mr. Reed, which card do you want to go with?
King of clubs.
I'm going to say 5 of hearts. I kind of like this too. Ace of hearts. Ace of hearts. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I'll see everyone next time.